All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. We'll go ahead and mute that. Whoops. Sorry, I'm sharing. Boom, boom. Here we go. Okay. All right, all right. I am still struggling to see Facebook comments, and I don't know why. Anyway, good morning, everybody. What's up? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Glad that you are all hanging out with us here, as always. Gracias, gracias, gracias. There we go. There are our comments. Okay, let's say some good mornings here, and let's see if this will work. Well, kind of, but I'm not really interested in that. Okay. Let's say some good mornings. We'll get to your comments. LSU baseball drops their doubleheader against South Carolina. The entire season for LSU baseball swung on one half inning. Just crazy. And then they just weren't competitive in the second game, which is kind of what South Carolina's proven to be this year, right? I mean, they're a team that, I know we talked about it all week, but LSU's best chance was to win game one, and South Carolina hasn't lost a game three yet in SEC play. They're 5-0 now. So when LSU lost game two, it was just, the odds of winning game three weren't good. It was almost like a fighter who, when you kind of get dazed and then you're struggling just to regain your faculties, and they had to go right back out and play again. Yeah, it wasn't good. So you also see why Jaden Hill's injury is so critical to this team, because the advantage you had in having a guy like AJ Labus for game three is now gone, and now your game three is a hodgepodge. It's Blake Money's obviously not very good right now, and that's something. I know why Paul Maneri is going with Blake Money, because he's going with the hot hand. He had the nice relief outing against Vanderbilt, but the reality is, this is just a fact, and we've talked about it, is Blake Money's got a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. His secondary stuff just isn't very good, and if good hitters, just sit dead red fastball, they can drive it, and they do every time he pitches. Second consecutive weekend, Will Helmers did not pitch. I do not understand at all what is going on there. Anyway, so I don't want to be dramatic here, but I think LSU's chances of making the postseason are less than 10%. It's because where they are right now at 4 conference wins, at 4-11. Realistically, so this is the math I've done in my head, right? So realistically, I think your goal would be get one game each of the next 2 weekends. You're playing Ole Miss and at Ole Miss and home against Arkansas, 2 of the best teams in the country. Just don't get swept. If you win one game in each of those, that puts you at 6 conference wins with 3 series to go: Bama, Auburn, and A&M. You can win each of those series, but taking 2 out of 3 in each of those puts you at 12. I don't think you're making the NCAA tournament with 12 SEC wins at 12 and 18. In 2011, when LSU missed the postseason, they were 13-17. Now, I think that team deserved to be in, and they were a snub. So just to get to 13, under that scenario, you're either going to have to win a series against Ole Miss or Arkansas, or sweep somebody, and that's just to get to 13. I just think that's improbable. So, hey, bud. Good morning. There you go. Okay, let's say some good mornings, see what y'all got. Jonathan Martin, good morning. John Milazzo, Chris Keller, day 2 of Disney Magic Kingdom Day. There you go, enjoy. Kelly Presley, good morning. James Tyrone, Nashville, Scone. Brian Andy Penn, good morning from the land of the Gamecocks. LSU should have won the series. Yep, they should have. We'll talk about that in a second, about the particulars of that 7th inning. Jesse Brown, good morning. Hope you and your family are well. Thank you, same to you. Hey, Dad, good morning. AJ Schubert, good morning. Jared Bordelon. Who do you have as a starting quarterback? I think Max Johnson is that guy. I think TJ Finley has the best arm out of all of them. I think he's the best arm talent we know. And if he could refine his skill set around that arm talent, I think he could be really special. I just think Miles Brennan is okay. And when I look at Max Johnson, I see all of the moxie, the leadership, all that I want with enough arm talent and still room to grow. If you're splitting hairs between a 5th-year guy and a 2nd-year guy, I mean, the 2nd-year guy has more upside. That's kind of where I lean. Ryan Dixon, who makes the call on pitchers when it comes to starts and coming out of the bullpen? So Maneri and Dunn collaborate on that, but ultimately it's Maneri's call. Michael Arthur, good morning from Washington State. And Ryan, I did this morning. We had the Hudco hat party yesterday, so I missed a whole bunch of text messages. I saw yours from after the game, so we'll get into some of that too. So don't go anywhere. I know you want to talk about it. Chad Arnold, good morning. Jeff McKiffin, Deborah Coward, Merrick Mathern, good morning. AJ Schubert, left in Labus too long. Dunn is terrible. So Alan Dunn is not terrible. I think Alan Dunn is a great pitching coach. And I don't know where you would have wanted to pull Labus. Going into the 7th, he had gone through 6 innings, had not allowed a run, and was at 58 pitches. Dude was cruising. And he gave up a knock, and then gave up another one. And then they put the bunt down, and then they pulled him. So I don't know where, he gave up 2 singles. I mean, I don't know where you would have wanted to pull him. Now, going to Fondo, and by the way, if y'all were watching the live stream yesterday, we're doing the companion show in Game 3. I mentioned this, and Paul Maneri, after the game, did confirm this. He went to Devin Fondo because he was trying to get a strikeout, which, of course, that's what he was doing. You had runners on 2nd and 3rd, base hit, and you're tied, which is what happened. He was trying to get a strikeout. And so he went to Fontenot because Fontenot's really the only guy in the bullpen he has that's a strikeout pitcher. Maybe Ty Floyd, you could say that as well. But the problem is Fontenot had his first outing of the series in Game 1, 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts. The problem we've seen with Fontenot is that when you use him multiple times in the same weekend, he's not effective the second time out. It's just, I'm going to go today, I'm going to do that research and go dig that up for his career times where he's pitched multiple times in a weekend. It's just, that's the book on Fontenot. It's when you empty the tank in your max effort, it's hard to, 24 hours later, to get back up. So, for me, if Garrett Edwards is your closer, I go to Garrett Edwards there. Now, Edwards pitched in the 3rd game and got rocked around a little bit, but hindsight, I would say hindsight's 20/20 is in baseball. As long as you have sound reasoning and logic for making the decision you do, I can live with the decision. Whatever the decision is strategically, I can live with the result as long as you had good logic for making it. And I understand what he was doing going to Fontenot. I just think that was the wrong decision. But pulling Labus early, I've heard that, I don't that doesn't make any sense. I mean, Labus was mowing them down through 6 innings. He was at 58 pitches through 6 innings. I mean, I have no. And think of it this way: if he pulls Labus and they give up the lead, y'all are sitting here today crushing him for pulling Labus, going, "Oh man, he was on cruise control." That's where like hindsight's 20/20 in baseball. You just again, you have to make you have to make your decisions with sound logic. If they make sense, and you can live with the result. I don't mind at all going to Labus. I absolutely look. I even tweeted. I mean, LSU was 3 outs away from a perfect scenario, which was you win the series against top 5 team, and you have everyone available for Game 3. Everyone. But then, of course, they gave up the lead and ended up losing. So, anyway. Brandon Atchison, does this start for money get him out of that Game 3 start? I didn't like that move from the beginning. Brandon, I hope so. The thing that's just so perplexing to me continues to be why they won't go to Helmers. I just don't get it. I mean, Helmer's your midweek guy. You've given him starts on the road in midweeks. He's been really good for you. I just don't understand it. I don't understand why back-to-back weekends now Helmers hasn't pitched for you. So I don't know. I'll see if I can get some answer. But all right, jump over to YouTube real quick. Trivia Carter, good morning. Y.N. Leem, locked in. Thank you so much. Jordan Richardson, good morning. Mark Allen, Nicholas Cantrell, morning Scone, any locks? I'll check. I'll check after the show, Nicholas. It'll be on the text line if so. I haven't had any this weekend, so sorry. Jordan Richardson with Hyatt and Cook entering the transfer portal. Who is Wade looking at to replace them? Well, they already got Xavier Pinson, the point guard out of Missouri, and that's why Jalen Cook entered the transfer portal. But my understanding is Will Wade is looking at least 2, maybe 3 more transfers. And the transfer rule was approved this week, so players can transfer and are immediately eligible. So anybody you go get is ready to roll. There's a kid from North Carolina, Garrison Smith, I think. Garrison Brown. Who I know they were interested, but he picked Mississippi State. His dad's an assistant at Mississippi State. But Carly Cat, it's time to evaluate Alan Dunn's job as pitching coach. Besides the outstanding pitchers LSU had, seems like a regression of the staff. I don't see a regression of the staff. Landon Marceau has undeniably gotten better. That's undeniable. Landon Marceau has improved. And I thought the game he called for Marceau was brilliant on Thursday night because Landon usually gets ahead with fastballs early in the count. On Thursday, he got ahead with off-speed stuff because he knew South Carolina's hitters would be sitting fastball, and he was ahead all night. So I disagree on Alan Dunn. AJ Labus has gotten better. I mean, look at the freshmen that you've actually gotten production out of. This is a year where the guy who was your Friday night guy coming into the season, Jaden Hill, has a UCL injury, and it's shuffled everything. I mean, you had to make up for not having a starter. So I think that's, no, Carl, not being disrespectful. I just think that that's a kind of lazy criticism. I think it's just, oh, well, let's just blame the pitching coach because of this. I really genuinely don't believe that's a valid criticism. The bigger picture issue, I think, is you've got so much youth, and then you could look and say, okay, well, why do you have so much youth? Well, that's a recruiting issue, and I wouldn't say necessarily Nolan. It's Nolan's job to go evaluate talent and recruit, but I would also say Monera's got to manage his roster, and if you're thin in places, then you need to go supplement. He hasn't. I think that's the bigger issue there. Trivia, so we're not talking about football. Yeah, we are, man. I'm just taking, you know how this works. Just taking people's comments, man. But people went right over to, baseball. Brian and Andy Penton switched to YouTube. Facebook's going in and out. Some people have been having that issue with Facebook where it'll kind of like pause, stop, start, whatever. If that's happening to you, if you're watching on a mobile device, just tap the screen and do the back button, like the 10-second back button, and then you'll be on a 10-second delay, but who cares? And then, and that should take care of it. But yeah, we are on. If you're watching on Facebook, we are on YouTube now. You can go to the Matt Moscona YouTube channel, and I'll broadcast live on YouTube. My goal is to find a setup where I can stream send one stream to multiple platforms, like we do for Whiskey and Wine. But I've yet to find that perfect scenario, so I have two different devices. My phone is on YouTube, and my Surface is on Facebook. Richie Burt just tuning in Pennsylvania. How did LSU baseball do yesterday? They didn't do so hot, Richie. They were cruising in game one. They had a 2-0 lead. South Carolina put up a 4 spot in the top of the 7th and stole that game from LSU. And then they got blasted in game 3, 9-0. So not so hot. American Bethune, why is Milazzo not playing? That's a great question. Also, obviously because of his bat. But then again, I mean, y'all have heard me say this all season. Hayden Travinski is a liability defensively. It's so, if you just watch him catch, it's so obvious. I can love the guy's energy and all that stuff, but defensively, he is a liability. I mean, South Carolina got up on LSU yesterday because Travinski, first of all, when Milazzo was playing, South Carolina didn't even attempt to steal. Travinski throws a ball. He's throwing down to second. He throws it into center field. And so the runner takes third, and that was the run that ended up coming home. It's like that got South Carolina on the board. Like, his mistakes are costing you runs now. Like, these are critical mistakes. But he keeps playing because Maneri wants his bat in there. But listen, I mean, he's down to 277. He struck out 18 times. Let's see, in conference play, and I'm not trying to pick on the kid, I promise, but here's Travinski in conference play. 0 for 2, 0 for 1, 0 for 4, 0 for 3, 1 for 2, 0 for 1, 0 for 3, 1 for 2, 2 for 4, game 2 against Kentucky, then 0 for 3, 0 for 3. He was 1 for 1 the first game against South Carolina, or the second game against South Carolina. It was just a little dribbler where he reached base. And then yesterday he was 1 for 2. So in conference play, 2, 3, 7, 2. So in 31 at bats in conference play, he is, let's see, 1, 2. He's 6 for 31 in conference play. Hang on. Get my calculator out. 6 divided by 31. Travinski in conference play is batting 193. So you have a guy in the game for his bat, and in conference play he's batting 193. I'm not picking on the kid. I'm not saying he's the only problem they have, but you asked the question, and it doesn't make a lick of sense. Like, Maneri's always played favorites. This is another example of it. You have Travinski in the ball game because of his bat. He's batting 193 in conference play. He's not a good hitter yet. He can hit SEC pitching, and he is a liability defensively. It makes no sense at all to have Hayden Travinski playing right now. None. That's not the biggest issue LSU has, obviously, but it's certainly one of them. Brian Andy Penn, what did you get out of the spring game? It's hard to ignore John Trey Kirkland. Obviously, when you have 200 receiving yards, that was a pretty big statement by Kirkland. It didn't matter what team he was playing with, first, second, white, purple. It just didn't matter. He was around. LSU slowing the ball around a good bit. That was pretty evident. Let's see. I'm looking at the box score right now. So let's see. They threw it. Purple team threw it 33 times. White team, the first team, threw it 48 times. So 5 interceptions on the day was not exactly something that I was hoping to see. Now, 2 of them were Nussmeier. So, I'm sorry, Nussmeier threw 1 and Finley threw 1. No, Nussmeier. Okay, Nussmeier threw 3 of them. He threw 2 with the white team and 1 with the purple team. Okay. Finley threw a pick. Finley threw 2. Okay, that was it. So Brennan and Johnson avoided turnovers, which was good. Kirkland, what a day. Goes over 200 yards receiving. I wanted to see. It's hard because there was no Ali Gay, no Andre Anthony. No John Emery. You really didn't have much of a running game at all. I think. So this is the conflicting part of the spring game. So BJ Ojolari has a big day, right? I think he had 3 sacks. Let me see if I can see the. Let's see. I think Ojolari ended up with 3 sacks. He had 2. Okay, two sacks, 2 tackles fall. Okay, and a hurry. And they gave Neil Farrell a sack. Okay. Jaquelin Roy had 3 sacks on the day. But it's like, all right, so BJ Ojolari. Should I be super pumped that Ojolari has taken the step and it could be like a real force off the edge? Or should I be really concerned because Dare Rosenthal could not handle that edge rush from Ojolari? And Ojolari is really good, but everybody in the SEC has one. They have an elite dude that's coming off the edge. You know what I mean? So that's always the conflicting part about the spring game. Like, I want to be pumped about Ojolari, but I'm also concerned about Rosenthal. So, not a whole lot else. I mean, I'm really excited in the spring to have Baskerville back. Damone Clark, I thought, looked really good. I mean, physically looked really good. And that's a guy who has a ton on the line next season. Jordan Tolles at safety. They played a bunch, but no Todd Harris. Again, so like there's so many guys. You didn't have Baskerville. You didn't have Harris. You didn't have Mike Jones. Gay and Anthony didn't play. I mean, that's 5 potential starters on your defense that didn't play in the game yesterday. Stephen Miller. Morning, bud, from Traction. The math doesn't work for the LSU baseball team. Yeah. So I'm a little behind on those comments. Sorry about that. Oh, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, and y'all are going to hear me say this, and I'm sorry to be repetitive. 20 people watching, only 7 likes. Please, 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 please hit the like. The like is a little thumbs up. That is just so important for YouTube's algorithm that they will take this video and show it to other people. So if you're liking it, so please like the video. I know those of you who are watching on YouTube want me to keep doing YouTube content. I absolutely will. I plan to make it a part. It's just very, very important that if you're watching, you hit the like. So if you are on your phone and you see the live chat, just X out of the live chat and you'll see the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and then you can go right back and hit the live chat tab. So thank you very much for those watching. If you would hit the thumbs up, I appreciate it. Let's see. Carly Cat. Okay, I see your point, Matt. Frustrated because I know this team is better than this. Carl, but here's the thing. I don't think they are. I think we all have this idea that LSU baseball should be better because they're LSU baseball. I just really don't think this is a good team, man. Like, you have one ace starting pitcher in Marceau, obviously. Labus is a really good veteran SEC arm. I don't think he's a pro. You have a bit of a schizophrenic bullpen. One of the best veteran arms you're going to count on is Matthew Beck. He's not available. So guys like Floyd and Helmers and Money and Edwards, these are all freshmen. And then you're starting 3 freshmen in the field with Morgan Cruz and Thompson, and those have been your best players. I mean, when 3 true freshmen have been your best players, like, that's usually not a great recipe to be awesome. So, I mean, I think they've got some young talent. They have a ton of holes. They don't hit consistently, and they don't have a number 3 starter now with Hill being out, and they don't really have anybody, and certainly not veteran arms in the bullpen they can count on. I mean, you would think guys like Vetmeyer and George and these guys who've been around the program could be arms they rely on, but they just aren't. They don't trust those guys in key situations. So I mean, I understand the point where people are like, oh, they're better, they could be like, but they're just not. It's just not a good team. I mean, there are players that are playing like Jordan Thompson's improvement this year has been incredible. Yo, when he hit, I remember I like vivid. I was sitting in my brown chair in there when he got to hit the opening weekend. I was like, oh. I mean, his first two ABs, he struck out and was not even competitive. I mean, looked lost at the plate. I'm like, God, this is against whoever they played opening weekend. It was the Air Force. I'm like, man, what's going to happen when he gets into SEC play? And he has just gotten better and better and better. And defensively, he's a guy. I mean, the first game of the doubleheader, game 2 of the series, let me see how many putouts he had in that game. He had to have 7 putouts in that game. I mean, it felt like they hit every ball at shortstop yesterday. And he's like a vacuum cleaner, bro. Just sucked up every single ball they hit at him. He was awesome. Like, so Jordan Thompson's improvement has been, there it is. I mean, Jordan Thompson's improvement has been awesome. Dylan Cruz is a stud. And Trey Morgan hitting over 300 as a freshman is sensational. Gavin Dugay's improved, and he's a nice player. They don't show the putouts on this. Gosh, dog it. Oh, come on. Let's see if that'll do it. Yep, there we go. Let's see. He had, all right, so I said 7. He had 5 assists and 1 putout, so he had 6. I was close. So I mean, there's some things, but it's just overall they're just not. It's not a great team, man. You know? My hope was that they could keep getting better and better and better and better, and maybe be peaking at the right time. But we're gonna look back. We are gonna look back at game 2 against Tennessee. Remember, they were leading, got postponed, restarted on that Sunday, and they blew the lead in the 9th. That game 2 against Tennessee and game 2 against South Carolina, whatever happens this season, those 2 games, or we're going to look back and say that's what cost them whatever they are. So, like, if the math scenario that I just laid out for you unfolds, where let's say they win 1 game each of the next 2 weekends and then take 2 each against Bama, Auburn, A&M, which is no given, that puts you at 12 conference wins. The 2 that and at 12 and 18, I don't think you're in regionals. If you were 14 and 16, you're absolutely in. You know what I mean? So, like, blowing those 2 games likely cost you your shot at being in a regional. Let's see. Brian Andy Penn, do you think Mulkey will come to LSU? I think if the price is right, yes, I do. There's some Kim Mulkey LSU memes out there, and let's just say I know for a fact she has been made aware of them. She's awesome. She's a good sport. But Brian, yeah, I mean, if LSU wants that to happen, if the door is open, it's possible, yes, and the door is open. Will LSU pony up what they have to pony up to get it done? I don't know. But let's say, so she's making 227 at Baylor. I think if you're LSU, you come in at 2.5. Now, Baylor will match it. Just a matter, does she want to come home? But I'm telling you that the play, if you're LSU, the play is you go say, listen, you can stay at Baylor for 10 more, 15, whatever more, however many more years you want. And you can win and probably win more titles there and everything. But you'll never be Gino or Pat. You'll never, in the minds of women's college basketball fans. So the one thing you can do that they never did was win a national championship at 2 places. Can you come to LSU and win one here? And if you do, you're a hero in this state because you will have been the first to win a women's college basketball championship at LSU. And you'll be the first women's college basketball coach ever to win a national championship at two places. And don't think tugging on any coach's ego like that wouldn't matter. So it's possible. I'm telling you, it's possible. All right. Let's see. Ryan Dixon. Man, I'm so late on comments. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm here, so I'll get to all of them. So thank you for watching. Let's see. Ryan, Palmineri's decision making this year has been suspect. You start Helmers the first series at third when you have Thompson on the bench. Then you don't see your midweek starter at all in an SEC series. Feels like sabotage. It's not sabotage. That's way too strong. But the Helmers decision at third to start the season is. Go back with me, okay? You go through fall, and then you go through preseason. At that point, wouldn't you have thought Jordan Thompson would have emerged if he were ready to play? I mean, you have to see something from that freshman to give him that shot. And really, he was shaky early, and he's gotten better as the season's gone along. Will Safford was supposed to be the starting third baseman. And a couple weeks before the season, he got the yips. He started struggling to make the throw from third. He just got the yips. Like, he just started 1 out of 5. He'd airmail it. He just struggled to make the throw. And so you're a couple weeks from the start of the season. It's like, okay, what do we do? Well, they even tried Dylan Cruz at third for a minute. Helmers played third in high school. So they're like, he played third and pitched. Like, at least he played the position. And they thought from a confidence standpoint, he wouldn't get shaken and that he could handle that, which is why they put him in there. It was a total disaster, and I can't understand putting a pitcher at third base at all. But he panicked when Safford struggled at the start of the season. There were a few weeks before the season. So not starting Helmers on Sunday is I'm perplexed. I mean, he has been good. He has been your midweek guy. I don't know why you go away from him. And yes, it's not sabotage. That's too strong. But I absolutely agree on the front that I can't understand why Helmers has not been starting Game 3. I know why. I know Maneri's reasoning why he went with money. I just flatly disagree with it. I just don't think it makes sense. Let's see. Ricky Lambert, good morning. Dawn, good morning. Stephen Miller, LSU QB report. You know the ceiling of one quarterback. The other has unlimited potential. Shouldn't be a decision come fall camp. The only thing I would compare it to, Stephen, would be the 2017 season, the Danny Etling, Miles Brennan question. Now we've seen Miles Brennan now for 4 years, so a lot of people may be harder to put yourself back in that mindset. But there was this strong debate of, Etling very much is limited, but he's played and he's a veteran guy. Like, do you go with him, who will limit mistakes and, ain't gonna go wow you, but limit mistakes and let you win some games? Or do you go with the young guy who probably, you'll take your lumps, but maybe make your way through it and has a bigger upside? I think that could be a similar decision that they have to make this year. And I honestly think it just depends on, do they have success early? Hey, Lenny just honked. Sorry, trivia. Whoops. But yes, if the football team struggles early, then let's say they start Max and let's say like they lose to UCLA. Just hypothetically, he may go to Miles and just go with the veteran guy. Damn you, Lenny. Oh, man. Karen Baker, good morning. Leandra Lewis, good morning. Jared Bordelon, we need another Zach Hess. I mean, honestly, Jared, that's Blake Money. Blake Money in his best role would be a guy who comes out of the bullpen with his long hair, throwing 95, 96, and you say, man, just go throw heat. But the best thing about Hess was he had a wipeout slider. Hess could throw at 97, but that slider is what made batters look silly. And Money doesn't have that pitch. Leo Williams, morning, Matt. At least we woke up, the sun is shining. Amen to that. After a week of rain, thank God for nice weather. Patrick Kason, good morning. Jared Bordelon, the bullpen sucks. Doug Sinceri, good morning. So, Doug, you mentioned Restream. So I've tried Restream. And for what I'm trying to do, Restream did not work. So I have tried Restream, and anyway, long story short, I've tried Restream. It didn't work compatibly for what I'm trying to do. Joseph Butler, will the Tigers be realistic contenders for SEC championship this year with the young quarterback play? No. I think LSU is probably, ESPN's FPI has them at 7-5. I think you're probably more like 8-4, hopefully 9-3. I think this is 2018. This is a 2018 do-over. You're bouncing back after a bad season. Nobody's expecting much. You hope for the emergence of certain players, probably like Max Johnson, and that you win some of those close games. I mean, in 2018, you needed some good fortune against Auburn with a couple of penalties that set up Cole Tracy's kick. Well, you won that game in a walk-off. You had the really impressive win. I still, to this day, say the most impressive win of Ed Ogeron's tenure at LSU is nothing from 2019. They were just better than everybody. The most impressive win was their win over Georgia in Baton Rouge, number 3 Georgia in 2018. That is the way that they so thoroughly dominated Georgia that day. He outcoached Kirby. They outplayed Georgia. I mean, everything about that game, that was, in my opinion, the most impressive game of Ogeron's tenure. I think that's what they need. I think they need a 2018 type season. And remember, look, they went 9-3 and went to the Fiesta Bowl. And I think that would be a good springboard to 2021, where maybe or 2022, I think they could compete for a championship. But this year, no. Brian Fletcher, spring game showed LSU has an OC and a DC that are ready for the SEC. Jones came in with a good plan. At halftime, Pete's made adjustments. I'm not going to draw that conclusion from the spring game. I'm not going there. When you're playing against yourself, and I'm not going there. Brendan Atchison, the wild pitches are killing us. Can't believe they're calling some of these wild pitches. I know it's. I don't know if he still is, but Brian Lazar maybe still is the official scorer at LSU, and the fact that he keeps calling these wild pitches instead of pass balls is mind-boggling. But anyway. Charlie Cavell, good morning. Robert Boudreau. Brian Fletcher. Last year, both coordinators did not make adjustments. How many runs has he given up? Charlie Travinsky came from a small Catholic school in Shreveport, then went to Airline. Matt is correct. He can't hit SEC pitching. Is that 190? What did I say? 193 in SEC pitching? Jonathan Martin, Garrett Nussmeier was impressive, aside from the picks. I like what they did with Coy Moore, moving him around, even had him at running back. That was out of necessity. Rhoda Yule, pretty much 2-horse race between Max and Miles, what I'm gathering. Seems that way, but you're always a turned ankle away from being in, as we saw last year. I mean, it was Miles Brennan's team, and then it became TJ Finley's team, and then it became Max Johnson's team. So, let's see. Who is the linebacker? Name is Small, I think 58. So that's Jared Small, went to Cali High. I think Jared Small walked on. They may have him on scholarship now, but I think he walked on when he came. So he's a senior. He's been around. I think he came the same year Clyde did. Jared making baked ziti for the family for lunch today. Okay, what time's lunch? I'm in. Adam Zander. Where does LSU baseball go from here? Well, that's a good question. Well, they go to Ole Miss this week, and that's not going to go well. But I understand your question. I think you go play out the string. I don't think they make postseason this year after yesterday. I just think it's the math. I mean, they're certainly they can. There are enough games remaining with 15 games remaining. There's enough games left. It's just you would have to do something improbable, like what happened in 2008 where you ripped off 23 in a row. I mean, can that happen? Sure, it's happened before. Is it likely? Not really. That team then, if I'm not mistaken, was I think they were 6-11-1, 18 games in the conference, and then didn't lose again. So, that team was in a similar position back in 2008 as this one is. And guys like Jared Bradford and Lewis Coleman and Blake Dean caught fire and picked that team up, and they rolled all the way to Omaha. So, is it possible? Sure, absolutely, it's possible. I think it's mathematically improbable. So, if they miss postseason, I think it's looking more and more like that would be it for Palmineri. I know I've heard from just too many people about him contemplating retirement to just ignore that. I don't think that decision has been made, but I just think that it's a very real possibility, if not probability. Daniel Sinets, good morning. Kevin McKee, most disappointing season in LSU baseball, the Pelicans. LSU baseball. I didn't expect anything from the Pelicans. That's still a young team that's building. I didn't. They're like baby giraffes. They got to figure out their legs and their stability, and they got to figure out how to win late. I didn't expect anything from Pelicans. It's frustrating, but not disappointing. I mean, disappointing would have to be if you had expectations. I had no expectations of them with this LSU team, with Hill, Marceau, Labus starting the season as your rotation, and with Fontenot and Beck, we thought at the back of the bullpen. I thought this pitching staff was going to be good enough to carry this team until the hitting came around. It just hadn't worked out that way. Robert Bosch, why is Hilliard not a Sunday starter? He did for 2 years ago, but yeah, you don't give him a chance. So Robert, Hilliard's never going to be a starter. He was a couple of years ago out of necessity. But the problem with McHale is he throws 85, 86, and that's just not competitive. He has a breaking ball, which is his most dominant pitch, but the problem with McHale is if he's not throwing his breaking ball for a strike, he's completely ineffective. Because if you lead with a breaking ball, you get behind an account and you have to come back with a fastball, and your fastball is 85, 86, SEC hitters are going to crush you, and that's what's happened to McHale. He's a good, I would say, spot reliever. If you have a guy that's coming, throwing 95, 96, boom, boom, fastball, like big power arms, and then you bring in Hilliard who's snapping off breaking balls, I think in a spot you could get an out, a righty situational reliever type deal. But he just doesn't have a versatile enough repertoire to be a starter. That's easy. I hate to say it that way, but that's easy. And then what we've seen with Hilliard as well is even if he is on, when he gets through the order one time and someone sees him for the second time, that's when they generally start hitting him. You need a starter to make it through a batting order 3 times to get you into the back of the game. And Hilliard can't do that. Connor, amazing how much better the video quality is on YouTube, right? But that's also, I will say also that I'm doing the YouTube broadcast from my, I have the iPhone 11s Plus, so the camera's much better on that too. But yes, it's also a video streaming platform. So anyway. Charlie Cavell, Beloso has been disappointing. Charlie Beloso, I am pumped for Cade. He's gotten his average up to like. Here's the thing about Beloso. I've shared this before, so if you've heard it, forgive me. Cade Beloso in 109 at bats has 11 strikeouts. By comparison, K. Doty, 115 at bats, similar, 24 strikeouts. Jordan Thompson, 115 at bats, 29 strikeouts. Cade Beloso has been putting the ball in play all season. He has had a lot of bad fortune, and also teams are shifting against him. The second baseman is playing shallow right because they're playing him as a dead pull hitter. If he would go the other way, he'd probably be batting over 300 now, but he has started to have some baseball fortune. Like yesterday in the first game of the doubleheader, he had a single which was just a bloop off the bat over second base and just landed in shallow center. And it's like, that's the kind of thing that wasn't going his way early that is now, and his batting average is up to 257. I mean, he's raised his batting average like 40 points the past 2 weeks. And I'm happy for him for that. I mean, he's a guy I think that'll by the end of the season will be approaching 300. Adam Zander, good morning. Sadis? Is that like Crusaders? Like Sadas? Like Brother Martin? Is that what that is? I like Brother Martin. My dad went there. Is it Trey Morgan? I guess. Will Kim rock an LSU jean jacket? Jared, Terrio and I made reference to that Friday on AFR. For those that don't know, it was a few years back when Kramer was playing, and Kim was she's at an LSU baseball game, and she was wearing a jean jacket, and Terrio made fun of her, called her Marty McFly's girlfriend, Jennifer from Back to the Future. It was actually pretty good. Let me jump back over here to YouTube. Sorry, y'all. I'm back and forth. So I promise I'm gonna get to everybody's comments. Just be patient with me if you would. Please, by the way, if you're on Facebook, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share. If you're on YouTube, 36 people watching, only 19 likes. I desperately need you to please hit the like, which is the little thumbs up if you would. So 36 people watching, only 19 likes. Hurts my heart. What I really need are the likes for YouTube's algorithm. That's very important. So thank you. Merrick, does Baylor women's basketball program make money? Let's see. I'm going to guess no. And remember, they're also a private university. So, so they don't disclose it. But let's see. Okay, here you go. Only 4 women's basketball team reported revenue over $4 million, and none had a profit of over $500,000. In fact, 43 of 341 women's basketball finished in the black. For context, 86 men's teams generated $4 million, 75 were above $500K in operating income. Lady Bears, one of the many losers, though it's difficult to tell exactly how much the team lost because of the school's accounting practices. Baylor spent $4.9 million on the Lady Bears, third highest expense in women's college basketball, behind only Tennessee and UConn. So it's saying they lost money. So UConn, is that right? UConn lost $366K. Tennessee lost $933K. Duke lost $1.07 million. Women. So, to answer your question, no, they don't make money. Women's basketball doesn't make money. Just you hope you break even or get close to it, but it's never going to be a moneymaker. Cliff Nelson, what up? Awesome night last night. I got to see Cliff last night at the Hudco hat party. Thanks to everybody who came out. There was a dude who showed up. His name's slipping my mind now. from Arkansas. Came in for drove down for the spring game, came over to the Hutco Hat Party. Appreciate everybody who came out. Really good night. Boru was a great spot. Let's see. Merrick, LSU goes 7-5. Is Coach O back in 2022? No. Carl, any names you think will come up if Maneri retires? The only one that I've heard sort of whispered is Jake Gautreaux, who is currently an assistant with Mississippi State, played at Tulane, was on that team that beat LSU in 2001 down at Turchin. I think he was an assistant at Tulane and now assistant at Mississippi State. Can recruit, coach hitters. Obviously been in the SEC. That's one that I've heard. Gray Muncie, is Helmer's the doghouse now that Arnold is out of the doghouse? Oh, no. Carl, my opinion, since losing the World Series in 2017, losing his dad, it seems like Maneri coaching has not been the same. We made the Supers a couple of years ago. Remember, Carl, so you're right. I mean, I have said, and that's fair. I've said that too. Paul's been through a lot of tough life situations. I mean, with his father dying, and he was also close to Tommy Lasorda, who passed this year, and then he's gone through like a very physically difficult thing with his neck, the neck surgery he's had. So, yeah, I mean, all that I think is very legitimately weighed on him. I think all of that's very true. Now, about the Supers, remember, they were not a national seed that year, but Florida State upset. Who did they upset? I don't remember how that worked, but somebody got upset, and LSU ended up hosting the Super Regional that year, even though they weren't a national seed, which they lost to Florida State, of course. Deborah Coward, good morning. Colton Matt, I can't like videos on my PS4. Forgive me. I liked it on my phone, though. Okay, great. Thank you, Colton. I appreciate that. I didn't know that, but that's good to know. Thanks. Terry Ducote, how far behind is LSU compared to all others in the SEC? They used to be the standard, but not anymore. So Vanderbilt and Florida right now are sort of the standard bearers of consistency. Arkansas has that train rolling too, as does Ole Miss and Mississippi State. I think LSU's probably behind those schools. You've seen at times, Kentucky had a good year. Remember when Kentucky had that? Who was that kid they had? The big kid was like 6'10". You remember that pitcher they had? It was 6'10". Was SEC pitcher of the year? God, I can't remember his name now. Sean Jelly. There it is. Every now and again they'll have a Kentucky, like Tennessee this year under Nick Mingione's having a nice season, but anyway. Craig Dugard, just let Will Wade coach men and women boot up balls. Jonathan Martin, I don't think they have to pay her an outrageous amount of money, but it can't be a disrespectful amount. She said it's all about timing. I think she'll come home. So she's making 2.2 at Baylor. It would have to be at least 2.5. If they make 2.5, I think they can get it done. But again, are you willing to pay your women's basketball coach 2.5? If you are, go make the offer. Craig, Matt, have you tried Chattanooga Whiskey Cash Drink? I have not. I will give it a go. Matthew Denicola, Helmers or Edwards need to start Sunday, in my opinion. Look, J.C. Holt told us, remember J.C. was Garrett Edwards' high school coach, and said point blank that he went to Maneri and asked for the ball on Sunday. Like he was lobbying for it. Still has given it to him. My preference would be Helmers because he's been starting for you all year in the midweek. So anyway. Ryan Dixon, picture of Drew and Terrio is great. BFFs for life. Love to see how happy he got when he saw him. Oh, man, if you could have seen. So at Beau Rue last night when Erica brought Drew. I was inside, and our group with Terry were all sitting outside on the patio, and Eric and Drew walked in the restaurant, and I saw him, and I was like, I thought he'd run up to me, and he just was like looking around, like, I mean, looking straight through me, not paying attention to me at all. And then I was like, he's out, so he's on the patio. So anyway, comes around the corner, and Drew like high stepping, like ran right to. Oh my god, it's on my Instagram story. I guess my Facebook story too, if you want to go see that. I wish I'd gotten him first coming around the corner. Look at you would have been like, oh my god, this kid, he is obsessed. He is obsessed. Eric Wilder, morning Matt. Order of concern, these position groups: Saints linebackers, LSU offensive line, next year's LSU pitching staff. Oh god, quarterback at LSU. Okay, I will go Saints linebackers. She's got the Mario Davis. You just need another one. LSU pitching staff because you have nobody returning. Then LSU's offensive line because I don't think they're very good. And then Saints linebackers because you still have Demario Davis. But the one of those that I want to be fixed the most urgently is Saints linebackers. Because like I said, LSU's not winning a championship this year in football. And I think they've recruited well there. And when you get Dellinger going, you get Will Campbell on campus, I mean, you're going to have some reinforcements coming. Connor O'Neill, who would replace Palmineri if this is the end for him? Maybe I should start getting that list together. Many of y'all have asked. Again, and listen, I'm going to tell y'all what, like, there are former LSU players that are trying to make their opinions known. Internally, I mean. That's going to be fascinating, man, because, you know, I think LSU fans are probably going to be in for a little bit of a rude awakening. If this is it for Maneri, because I'm telling you, man, LSU fans are going to say, well, go get just what they're doing with women's basketball. I mean, LSU has no pedigree in women's basketball, and it's, hey, go get Kim Mulkey, right? You have pedigree in baseball, and you're going to think, oh, go get Tim Corbin, go get Kevin O'Sullivan. That ain't happening. Same question we just answered a little bit ago. A lot of people have resources now, and there is something to be said for a coach looking at LSU and going, hold on, that guy's won a national title, played in another championship series. He's been to Omaha 5 times. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's the winningest active coach in college baseball. And you want to fire him? Like, why would I want to go there? I mean, there is going to be some of that. No doubt. Let's see. Scott Wilson, what's your take on the spring game? I'm not a great person to ask that question to, Scott, just because I always struggle to take big takeaways from either side of the ball. For me, it's more, let me look at individual players. John Trey Kirkland, nobody could guard him. I think that's awesome because you do have a legit question of who's the number 2 behind Kayshon Boutte, who still is a stud. The play Boutte made, I mean, the touchdown that got called back like in the second play of the game or whatever, but the play he made, it would have been second half. Brennan was in at quarterback, and no, I guess it was late in the first half. Brennan threw him a ball down the left sideline. It was well covered, and Boutte went up over the defender and made the catch at like 30 yards down. It was like, oh my God. It just, he's He's special. But John Trey Kirkland having a big day was fun to see because I think it's a legit question of, who's the number two behind Kayshon Boutte. You got a lot of guys. I mean, you got Dre Jenkins, you got John Trey Kirkland, you got Coy Moore. You got some guys coming in. Alex Adams is there. So, yeah, who's going to be the number two? Thought there Rosenthal struggled a little bit at left tackle, which is a concern. Didn't get to see Ali Gay or Andre Anthony. They didn't play. B.J. Ojolari looked good. I thought Damone Clark physically looked really good, which is exciting. He needs a big bounce back. Big money year for Damone Clark. Brian Andy Penn, where do the Saints do for the first round pick? I just want them to go defense. You need a guy at every level of your defense. I mean, you lost Rankins and Hendrickson and Malcolm Brown. You lost Quan and Anzalone. You lost Janoris Jenkins. You lost starters at every level of your defense. So it just better be a defensive player. I don't care what position. Best defensive player on the board at 28, take him. Brian Madare, morning, Matt. Besides pitching, catcher is the most important position on the baseball field, and LSU doesn't have one at this time. Who's to blame? They do, Brian. They actually have a great one. Alex Milazzo is a elite defensive catcher. That's not even debatable. He's got a world-class pop time. Teams don't even try to run against him. The problem is he hasn't hit. And so Maneri has been giving Travinsky a shot because Travinsky has hit in midweek games. But as we've gone over, Travinsky in SEC play is batting 193. I don't know how you justify. And I would even take a guy batting 100, one guy in my lineup batting sub 200, if it meant having an elite glove at a premium defensive position. We've seen Paul do that before. Andrew Stevenson batted 193 as a freshman and played center field on that 2015 team because it was such an important defensive position. He basically was like a guy playing two outfield positions in one. He was awesome. So they let him go bat 193. Austin Nola struggled as a freshman at the plate. Ended up being a career 300 hitter, but as a freshman struggled, but he was playing shortstop on a national championship team. And so he played. Papirski as a freshman hit right at 200. Maybe sub 200, but he was playing catcher, so played him. Let's see. Mimi and Papa are watching. How about that? That would be the world famous Papa of world famous Papa cooking world fame. Okay, y'all. Let me know if y'all want to do Ask E-Rock. Hey, babe, do you want to do Ask E-Rock? Yeah. Whenever you're ready. Okay. Okay, 3 minutes. All right, Erica's coming in 3 minutes. Let's get Ask E-Rock going. Trivia. I assume you're still watching trivia. This is your shot. Let's see. Tevin Lashley, morning. Biggest position group concern coming out of the game. Yesterday's spring game. It's so tough. Like, we didn't get to see any of the running backs. You had two defensive line starters who didn't play. You had two potential linebacker starters that didn't play, right? I mean, there was no Micah Baskerville and Mike Jones, the Clemson transfer. So it's really hard to tell. I mean, I'll tell you, for me, defensively, it's still safety. They were bad at safety last year. Todd Harris didn't play. They held him out this spring. So if Todd Harris is healthy and Jordan Tolles improves and they move Jay Ward back to safety and then you have the freshman coming in, maybe you're better there. But for me, that's my biggest concern because you were bad there last year and I don't know that you addressed that. So that for me is my biggest concern. How did the Jets let Davis leave the building? So true. I mean, or maybe a better question, Merrick, is how did the Jets not maximize him? He has been awesome. Terry Ducote, Blake Dean. I have no doubt Blake Dean would inquire about the job, but that's not who I was referencing, by the way. I mean, players that aren't coaches have are trying to let their opinion be known. Kyle Pierce, morning, Matt and Drew. Ryan Dixon. Ooh, Ryan Dixon jumped over to YouTube from Facebook. Scott Woodward working deal with Kim Mulkey includes Kramer taking over the baseball program. Or Kim Mulkey taking over the baseball program. Shoe game would be fire. Ryan Dixon, is that a birthday bourbon on Top Shelf? That is a birthday bourbon on Top Shelf. Top Shelf is from left to right. We're looking at 2 Four Roses limited edition. That's the 2017 and 2020. That's a Old Forester birthday bourbon. That's a Thomas H. Handy, a Rip 10, a Lot B, Sweetens Cove. I have 3 different Kentucky Owl batches. I have batch 2, 3, 4. That's Whistle Pig, Boss Hog, 3rd and 4th editions, and then a Michter's 10. That's my Top Shelf. For the whiskey nerds out there who care. The Will Cottrey YouTube Network. What's up, Will? Hope all is well, man. Good to see you on here. Ariel, fire away. Where's trivia? Trivia, do we have Ask Rocks? Do we have Ask Rocks? Maybe not. C-Mac. Let's see. Not sure it's realistic. I'd ask Scott Brown, the Vandy pitching coach, Dan McConnell at Louisville. Maybe Lane Burroughs and Cliff Godwin at least talk. So C-Mac, I think Dan McConnell, McDonald, excuse me. I think that might be the 3rd guy. So a few years ago, when Paul got his most recent extension, they did put feelers out there when Paul was considering going to Texas. And I know Corbin and O'Sullivan both said no. I think Schlossnagel. I think maybe they had Schlossnagel. But there was one more that surprised me who didn't have interest. And I think it was the Louisville coach. And that's because I think, C-Mac, I think that's who it was. Because my thought with the whole thing was, like, that's what's led me to believe, man, LSU fans are going to be disappointed. Because if those guys are saying no, you know, who's the proven coach that you're going to get that's been a winner, it's been Omaha. You know what I mean? Like, would Mike Bianca be interested? 2 of his boys are playing in Louisiana. I don't know, man. If you're Bianco at this point, you've built Ole Miss. It's your program. You've been there 20 years. I mean, he's the dean of SEC coaches. It's, I don't know. All right, you ready? Here she comes. Here comes here. It's time for Ask E-Rock. For those who are just watching for the first time ever, maybe just finding us on YouTube, on Sundays and sometimes on Saturdays at Trivia Carter's Dismay, my lovely wife Erica, a.k.a. E-Rock, joins us, not on camera, however. She sits right there because she does not want to be on camera, and answers your questions no matter how nonsensical they may be. So fire away with any questions you may have for Ask E-Rock.
What?
Lenny just said honk, too. That was a minute ago.
Did you hear honk? He sent us a text this morning. I didn't see it. Drew took my phone. There's a picture.
Well, my phone's right there, so I can't see it either.
Oh. He'll be honking in a second. All right, go.
Okay. Fire away with your questions. What do you think about YouTube so far?
I don't like YouTube, but
What?
you don't want me to say that. I don't know, because I don't like YouTube. I don't get it. It's hard to find things, and I don't know. I don't do YouTube. Drew watches videos, so I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, we're gonna get to your questions. What do you think about, real quick, about LSU baseball losing that doubleheader yesterday?
Did y'all expect them to win?
I mean, they were just about to win the second game
Yeah, but I mean, I
of the
guess like
series,
it's
first
kind
game
of
of
like that's
doubleheader.
how it's been. So to me, whenever they would have won, I would have been like, oh wow, they won. But it's kind of expected them not to win right now, I guess.
What about the LSU spring game?
How was it? I don't know.
Okay, good.
I saw some pictures of the new offense.
You saw
Pete's.
pictures of the new offense.
Somebody posted pictures of Pete's new offense.
Pictures of Pete's new offense.
But I don't know if it was good or not.
Yeah.
But I saw pictures of it.
All right, Ryan Dixon, ask E-Rock. What's her fashion opinion on Kim Mulkey rocking the jean jacket?
A lot of people wear jean jackets.
Oh, really?
Tons of people wear jean jackets. They came back.
Oh.
For, I would say, moms. They're a mom thing.
Okay. Well, Kim Mulkey's a mom.
Yeah.
She's a grandma.
Lots of people. I don't like how stiff a jean jacket is. First of all, they're very constricting and stiff.
Very constricting.
I don't like the jean jacket the way it feels.
Do not like that.
I want something really soft and cuddly. So yeah, but lots of moms wear jean jackets. I mean, I think it's fine. I don't have one. I don't want one, but I think it's okay.
Charlie Cavell asked E-Rock if Ryan Terrio should be the next LSU baseball coach.
Well, we said yes, but then he has too much going on with his kids right now. It's not the right time for him. So maybe after Macy, Houston, and Georgia get into college, which is not going to be long, 4 years. Yeah. Maybe in 5 years he should be the coach.
Okay.
Well, no, Georgia's in 7th.
How grown up do their kids look?
I know.
Oh my God.
I know.
Houston and Macy came
Houston
last
looks like
night.
a man.
Houston, I know. I said, how long is it going to be till he can toss Ryan around?
Oh, he could probably do it now.
I asked him, I was like, man, are you like, you tossed him around a little bit? He's like, no, not yet. I was like, give it about 3 years.
Well, why would he want to do that?
It's just roughhousing. You know, like when I'm in a pool with my dad, I put him in like a headlock and throw him around and stuff.
I don't see you do that to
Yeah,
your
we do.
dad.
Yeah, I do.
You do it to the kids. You don't do that to your
Yeah,
dad.
I do.
I've never seen you do that to your dad.
Oh,
You do it to
Erica.
the children all the time.
Well, they started. They want to roughhouse
I know,
with me.
but I'm saying, like, you don't do it to, so I don't know why Houston's not going to do that to his dad.
Yeah, you do. You
He
get a
is
little
scared
rough.
to death of Ryan, which is hilarious.
You get a little rough and tumble.
He is scared of Ryan, which makes me laugh.
Louis Bergeron asked E-Rock, what is your favorite Rush song?
Oh, I don't know that band. Who are they?
Mundane warrior, mean pride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean
Oh, yeah, no,
pride.
I don't like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I don't
He
like
asked the
that.
question because he knows how much I hate them.
Oh, okay.
I hate Rush. They're
I
terrible.
don't even know who they are.
Every song sounds the same. They're terrible. Lanny said Rob Honkowski. Like Rob Gronkowski, but Honkowski. I didn't hear a honk. Jonathan Martin asked E-Rock, favorite quarterback, Burrow or Breeze?
Oh, well, I mean, I like what Burrow did for LSU and for our town.
What about what Breeze did for the Saints in our state, our
I
region?
don't follow the Saints. But I know Drew Brees is very generous. He has given back so much, and he's done a lot of special needs help, I've heard, with, like, parks and stuff. And there he is. There he is. There's Lenny.
Trivia, that was a big honk trivia.
So Drew Brees has done a lot. He's given back a lot. But then Joe Burrow got, like, the food bank $1 billion.
$1 billion.
So they both, again, I don't choose favorites. They're both wonderful human beings.
Ask E-Rock. Trivia card.
Oh, hi, trivia.
Best brand of truck.
Ford. I don't know. My dad's truck is a Ford.
Yeah.
I like my dad's truck. It's nice. Super
Okay.
nice. Ford.
Gulf South, ask E-Rock. Or this is for me. Any idea of the market value of your whiskey collection? So, if we're talking secondary market, like, now here's the other caveat. Everything's opened. So, like, if everything were still sealed and new, it would be worth much more.
He just
But
means how much is your stuff worth.
I don't know.
You don't have to, like,
Well, it does matter. So, like, okay. So,
I
Van Winkle Lot B on secondary market, I could probably sell that if it was unopened for more than $1,000. You know, that's one bottle. Now, I didn't pay $1,000 for it. You know, but let's see, how much would a Van Winkle Lot B go for? Van Winkle Lot B, Secondary price. I mean, look, there's $6.99, $8.49, $9.99, $1,099. You know, so I mean, that's a pretty pricey bottle
Absurd.
to some, unless if you collect it. What about someone paying $2 million for a baseball card?
Absurd.
Well, it's an asset. It's a collector's item. That's what people want to do. I think you spend as much money as you do on clothes and
Not for me.
hair. You spend
Drew.
what you spend on hair is absurd. Absurd.
No, that's the going price.
Well, that's the going price of this whiskey. It's just, what do you want to spend your money on?
Take 4 haircuts to get to that 1 bottle of whiskey. No, 5 haircuts.
But that's-
6, no, like 8 haircuts.
But I would never spend that. That's my point. I don't buy anything on the secondary market because the prices are ridiculous. So that's why I'm trying to answer the guy's question. Like, if I counted, how many bottles do I have total? Have we ever counted?
I don't know.
I have a lot. Ask it. Kippers. Asky Rock, her favorite pizza in Baton Rouge. Oh, God.
What? I love Johnny's.
Oh, okay. Johnny's good.
I also like Jabby's.
I think you say Jabby's.
Well,
Jabby's.
Jabby's, you create your own. And you can do the cauliflower crust more healthy. Johnny's, the strip really gets me. I love the strip of pizza. I don't
How
want
it's
a big
cut.
slice.
How it's
I don't
cut.
want a slice of pizza because it's too big. But I love the little strips because I feel like I'm eating a breadstick. And Johnny's used to be our little thing when we lived over off Bonnet. That was like our little thing. And it got me
Little
to a lot
Johnny's,
of like Drew nights. We did
Some
a lot.
wine, some Johnny's.
Yeah.
Let's make it a Johnny's night. That's what we do.
It was just like a really, back when things were easy and quiet.
Trivia Carter, Asky Rock, how was the hat party?
It was great. Drew, I've never seen my child just laugh and run and have the best time. And then it started raining, so he'd run out in the rain. I think that was so funny. I kept trying to get pictures of him, but they were all like a blur because he was just running so much. I got a couple like in-action pictures I sent to my mom, and I'm like, this is all he did was run. And she's like, he looks so cute in his outfit. I'm like, his outfit was fire.
He was pretty cool.
His little gray denim stretch jeans with his little gray Air Force Ones and his
Belt.
his little puppy dog belt and his LSU striped shirt. I mean, he looked like a little stud. And Ryan kept commenting on his hair, how good it was. I'm like, well, when mommy fixes his hair, it looks fantastic. Because he's a hair dryer and all that. So, yeah, it was fun. Drew had a great time.
Trivia Carter, Asky Rock. Worst dessert.
2. Well, a bunch. Do not like pecan pie. It's like a big mush
I
fest.
love
It's
pecan
disgusting.
pie. Oh.
Pecan pie reminds me of 80-year-old men.
I'm going to get a
sitting
pecan pie
around
today. I'm going to get a piece of pecan pie today.
Disgusting. I do not like a tiramisu. Blah.
Why not?
Tiramisu is like all mush. I don't like mush desserts. They're all mushy. Puddings. I don't like a
I
banana
thought you were going to go pudding. I thought you were going to say pudding.
I don't like. I'm going there next. I don't like pudding. I don't like banana pudding. I don't like a big sloppy mixture of dessert, like a big blob. It's like a blob. And then I don't like creme brulee. I don't like that hard shell within the big blob underneath it. See, all these things have something in common. They're big blobs of desserts. I want something that is firm, that when I use a fork to eat a dessert, it's not soup. It's dessert. Shove a fork.
Do you use a fork for ice cream?
I mean, you could. Ice cream is not a big blob. Ice cream is firm. See? It is.
You said you have to use a fork.
Well, a spoon then.
You use
To
a
cut it
spoon.
with. You have to use a spoon to cut ice cream with. So, and I'm not a huge ice cream fan. I mean, I don't love ice cream. I mean, it's okay, but I don't love it.
Ask you, what if your dad made pecan pie?
He wouldn't.
What if he did?
It'd probably be good.
Oh, probably good.
Probably.
Hey, B, make me a pecan pie. Want your dad to make me a pecan pie today? Ask E-Rock, what should Matt call the new whiskey and wine? Some trivia card.
Well, yesterday somebody mentioned whiskey and stogies with roadies. What was it?
Stogies with roe.
Oh, I thought it was a rhymed. Yeah, I like that. Whiskey and stogies with roe.
Maybe like whiskey and stoves with Matt and Roe.
Maybe it was stoves, not stogies. Yeah, because I would want to have an E or a sounding name. Yeah.
Trivia Carter, ask E-Rock, why must you acknowledge Lenny's rude honking?
Because I was giving it some attention because he made the effort to honk and drive by and say hi, and I'm going to give the effort. It's like if somebody waves at you in the grocery store and don't wave back.
Merrick Mathern, ask E-Rock, thoughts on South Carolina's uniforms?
I didn't see him.
Trivia Carter, ask E-Rock.
Can we give a shout out to Cliff Nelson?
Yes.
Who might be one of the nicest men
Cliff's
I've ever
watching.
met. Cliff, you are so kind.
Oh,
He is so nice.
Cliff's a great dude.
He's a great, nice man. And I learned a lot about his family last night. He takes care of his mom, his kid Bryce. I mean, I know all about him and his daughter. Like, I mean, he was such a nice man. And of course, love and so supportive of Drew, and just meant like, you've done something for his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And so he just said, when he was like, when someone does something for your kid, I'm like, oh God, they're gold forever.
Are you gonna cry?
Yes, I'm gonna cry.
She's crying.
I gotta go take them off the oven.
She's crying. Cliff, she cried this morning. I don't know if Cliff's still watching. Good opportunity to remind you about Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. After Hours Clinic is, of course, open today. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. And, of course, Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. Had awful weather this past week around much of South Louisiana. Make sure you call Hudco Roofing or go to HudcoRoofing.com. Go to the contact page on HudcoRoofing.com. Fill out a little info, and boom, get you in the queue. Gotcha. HudcoRoofing.com.
Do people get to meet Sam? He's so nice.
Sam is so nice. Yes, a lot of people meet Sam.
Yeah, he's so nice. Lauren talked to Sam for a long time.
What'd they talk about?
I don't know. They're talking about just their kids, where his wife and daughter were at cheer, and they're talking about, I think he was asking how Lauren knew Ryan and John, and Lauren's like, oh, I'm school at Ryan, not cheer with John. Like, I know both of them separately.
Got it.
Yeah, super nice.
Lauren is Erica's sister. Lauren and her husband James came to the Hudco hat party yesterday. James was wearing a Hudco hat, but then he wanted a different Hudco hat because he saw the one that was like the gray one with the stitch.
Oh, I have that in my purse. Is that how it ended up in my purse?
Maybe so.
Okay. I didn't know why I had it. I do like that.
Trivia, Ask You Rock. What you got against YouTube? It doesn't let family members know I'm on it like Facebook.
Oh, so your sneaky way. I just don't, like I was saying earlier, I don't know YouTube. Like, all I use YouTube for is to go back and watch AFR with Drew, or to find stuff for Drew. So I don't have a channel. I don't have a page or a whatever. I just, it's helpful if I want to go pull your show back up for Drew. I can find it easy, I think. So.
Ask You Rock. Trivia card. Are you a fan of the Canadian suit?
What is that? What is that? Explain.
Canadian suit? I don't know what that is.
Can I just say right now to anybody watching, I am extremely, extremely upset about this Secor Power thing going on in Port Fourchon and this rescue, and I'm like obsessed almost with the story, and I'm just so devastated. So if anybody out there has family members or friends who are still on that ship, I am like praying constantly for them, and I'm saying the rosary every day. I'm just like, I cannot begin to imagine what the people, their families are feeling right now. It's just, it's so devastating. And I know somebody on your show the other day said that they had a friend out there, and I'm like,
yeah, it was Dylan. He hasn't been back on since. I've been looking for him.
It's just, I am just so like, I just can't wrap my brain around that,
Yeah.
And then too, it makes you stop and think about like the last thing you say to somebody before they leave again, like the last text message you have with someone, or anyway.
Yeah.
So, it's just devastating. But all right, next.
Ask You Rock. Would you roundhouse kick a dolphin?
No, why is a dolphin? Poor dolphin. Why does everybody want me to hurt a dolphin?
This is just true.
Can we do like a
to end the mask mandate?
Yeah, I am so.
Yes, we got it. It's not for $10 million.
Money.
It's to end the mask mandate. She will kick a dolphin.
I'm tired of the mask, and it's so hot. Like, I was trying to shop yesterday.
I'm not wearing mine anymore. I've stopped wearing it when I go in places. Nobody tells me nothing.
You had it on yesterday.
No, I didn't.
You did your Bo Ruth with it on when you're doing your videos.
When I first walked up, I had it down when I did the video, and I didn't put it on again the rest of the day. When I go to Albertsons with him, I don't wear it anymore. I'm done. Done.
Yes, I'm so tired of it. I can't be done with it because of
I
work.
am done.
And
done.
Anyway,
Come tell
I'm
me
so
something.
hot, and I'm tired of the.
It's just stupid. It's not doing anything. Like anyone
let's go on. I don't want to say
anyone that has a mask that you're reusing, that you're not washing daily, it's pointless because that mask now has picked up every bit of harmful germ pathogen on surfaces when you put it down on your pocket, in your hands, and you're putting it right in your face. It's the stupidest thing in the world. It's so dumb. Like, we have become married to this idea for nothing more than optics. It's stupid.
Okay, go on.
Okay. Merrick Bethurn, Asky Rock. Can Houston play catcher for LSU?
Yeah, Houston's a great athlete. Houston is, he's a different type of kid. And I love him because he's like so sweet. And so, like, even last night, like, I think Jonna and Macy had ordered and their food got there. And he's like, Mom, do you think we might be here another 10 or 15? Because he didn't order, I guess. So, do you think we might be here another 10 or 15 minutes? Would it be okay if I ordered some food? Like, you know, he's just so.
Yeah.
I mean, he can be wild in a classroom setting all day long, but he's just a great. He's just a respectful.
He's a sweet kid. Like, he's
respectful
all the
kid.
Terrier kids are.
And just, I love Houston and all of them.
They all.
So yeah,
they did a great
he's
job.
a great athlete. Back to that, but he's just like he can do anything. Like he's just it comes naturally.
Merrick Bethurn, Trivia Carter. She sure perked up when Lenny honked.
Oh Lord, Merrick.
Ryan Dixon, Asky Rock. What did she think of the guys wearing skinny jeans? You should get some for Matt now that he is trimmed up. Would you like to have this conversation?
Why?
Well, because we went through this last week. You got me skinny jeans last week.
I didn't know that they were slim fit.
Slim fit.
Well, that was all they had. I didn't realize actually they were slim fit until I got them home. But yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily like a baggy jean, but I definitely don't want a jean to be like extremely tight in certain areas on a guy because it's just awkward.
On the package?
Yeah.
Yeah. Asky Rock, Trivia Carter. Asky Rock. Do you and Lenny get together and plan ways to upset me?
No trivia. We don't.
Asky,
Have your hat ready to go in the mail that I'll be mailing out this week for you.
Asky Rock. Have you ever shot a gun?
No. Oh, God, no. I cannot even look at a gun.
Trivia Carter, Asky Rock. Are you a better dancer when you're drunk?
Yeah. Less reservations.
Did you get drunk when you were the captain of the dance team?
No.
Oh. So maybe you should have. Maybe you'd have been better. Asky Rock. If you could see one current musical artist in concert, who is it?
I like Jack Johnson a lot. He's pretty chill. I'd like him to just be like at a restaurant playing.
Oh. She would like Jack Johnson to be at a restaurant playing. Trivia Carter said pecan pie. Who are you?
Oh, it's awful. It's
So
like an old
good.
man dessert.
I
It's
love
such
pecan
an
pie.
old man dessert. I think of like old coffee and cigarettes and pecan pie. Like I don't know why. That's what I think goes together.
Old coffee,
It's like
cigarettes.
old men who still smoke cigarettes, like Papa Jew. He would have had pecan pie with a cigarette and a coffee. It's a bunch of mush. No girl wants pecan pie. I'll tell you that.
That's
much.
so not true. Pecan
is
pie
so
is
true.
a great dessert. Okay.
And I like a pecan, but I do not want a pecan pie.
Asky Rock, did you know Cliff is a crazy Marine?
Oh, is he?
Uh,
He's a very nice Marine who loves his children dearly.
Asky Rock, Trivia Carter. Craziest movie, scariest movie you've ever seen?
I won't watch scary movies. So I think there was wasn't there a movie called Scary Movie?
Mhm.
That was scary. Like Mask.
But Scary Movie was a parody of the scary movies. It was a comedy.
It still scared me. I didn't like that mask guy running around.
Well, that's Scream.
Oh, didn't like that one.
Yeah. Scary Movie parodied like Scream and I
Oh.
Know What You Did Last Summer and a lot of those.
Yeah, I don't like scary movies.
Asky Rock, if you could move your whole family and friends with you, where would you want to live? That's a good way to ask that
Yeah.
question. Obviously knows Erica.
Right now, it might be Columbus, Ohio, so we could have access to Dr. O easily because I'm missing that in my life. Or somewhere tropical.
Columbus, Ohio, or somewhere tropical.
I just want Dr. O to move back to Houston.
Trivia Carter, Asky Rock, when are y'all sending my signed Hudco hat?
Did I just say that? Was it trivia? We're thinking the same. I ordered mailing bags last night from Amazon. They're royal blue. They're very pretty. Blue for Team Drew. And so as soon as Matt gets me those addresses, do you still have his address?
I think so.
If not, you need to get addresses from people.
Yeah.
So I'll send those out this week. Miss Brenda at the UPS, Barbara. Gosh, I do that all the time.
I know.
Barbara, Miss Barbara at the UPS store will be taking care of me. She's amazing. UPS on Highland right there at the interstate. She's phenomenal.
Trivia card or Ask You Rock. What is an exotic animal you would like as a pet?
Oh, exotic animal. A dog. A puppy. Because Drew loves dogs. And his daddy does not love dogs.
I love dogs. I do love dogs.
First thing Drew did when he got home last night, he ran straight to Valley and picked her up. He went, uh-oh. When I got home Friday from work, Drew had moved Valley, the fake boxer, to the back door where I park at the garage, and I would go walk up to the door, and Valley's sitting there looking out the window at me. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Ask E-Rock, scale of 1 to 10. Nola Mia pizza truck. That's from Darren Bone.
Oh,
Did you eat the Nola Mia that night?
Hey,
bud!
Hey, buddy! Yay! What you want? Help? Okay. Oh, are you trying to tweet somebody? You're tweeting. Yay!
Yay! Okay.
He's tweeting his baby bell.
Okay. Nola Mia?
I did have some of that Porky's.
Oh my god.
No, I give Nola Mia a 10. I mean, their setup was phenomenal. God. We're going to have them at Drew's birthday in conjunction with jambalaya. We're not going to do wings and mac and cheese and tenders and all that this year. We're going to do Nola Mia and jambalaya. And I can't wait because they were in the owner and is the other guy that I'm going to talk to a lot?
We talked to Kevin.
So I don't know if Kevin owns it or if he's partners with the other guy. But anyway, they were so nice, so accommodating, friendly, awesome. Great setup. They were awesome. I wish I was not on a diet and I would have indulged. But I heard their crawfish bread was amazing.
It was so good.
And they just pull on in and set up and then
they did a great job. I wonder if Darren works for them or.
Yeah, how does he know about them?
No, he just said State Farm agent.
Maybe he heard you talk about it before. They were great. We're gonna have them. We need to book them for Drew's party.
Yeah, I'll talk to him this week.
And maybe did you break the news that we haven't talked about the golf cart lately? Mother's Day is coming up.
Did I break what news?
About the RV.
No. You
convinced me to get on board with the RV idea. I was totally against it for our trip to Tennessee this summer. And there's no RV to rent. Thank you, COVID. So now we're gonna look at a Sprinter. Right? Did you do that this week?
No.
Yeah, you were going to. And I said, do I need to send you a reminder? And you're like, no, I got it.
I got it.
Yep, nope, you don't got it, though. That's the thing. You don't got it. I'm going to have to put some sticky notes all over and some text messages.
I don't pay attention to your sticky notes.
Well, and then I'm just going to put some text messages.
I don't pay attention to those either. Lenny Moss said, because I'm her favorite, bro. Just accept it.
Oh, he threw down the gauntlet.
And Lenny also said, E wants a shout out to her and A.
Give him a shout out.
From you, E-Rock.
No, not from me.
Good morning, girls. Big time shout out to the Moss girls.
Oh, see, that's what they want. They don't want me. That was sweet.
Kelly Presley. Wish we could have made it yesterday. Would have loved to meet Drew. I understand what Eric is saying, how people react to children with special needs. I've lived here for 25 years with our son. It makes your heart smile.
Isn't it the best?
It is true. You don't hear him in there laughing.
And the guitar, the lady, whatever you call her, the musician, I guess.
She was really good.
She was very good. She did not do Bye Bye American Pie. I did request
Oh, she probably forgot.
Oh, I didn't want to ask again because she didn't seem like she wanted to do it the first time. But anyway, she was very nice. But she tried to give Drew a guitar pick, and I was like, because he kept going up to her, and she's like, "Here, would he want this?" And she went hand it to him, and he like looked at her, and I'm like, "If you haven't noticed," I'm like, "I know she's in the zone." Sweet. I was like, that's so nice. I said, but actually, he's got a lot of special needs and he won't touch certain things. I'm like, so no, but keep it. I'm like, that's really nice though. That was sweet of her.
Chris Ockmond was her name. Ockmond, right?
Oh, I have no idea.
Chris, I put her on my Instagram story. Chris Ockmond, I think is her name. She was really good.
Yeah.
You want to get her for Drew's party?
No, I'm not doing like that.
Some live music?
No.
Why not?
Wouldn't you get Toby?
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, we can invite them, like to come just as our friends.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, maybe he just pick up the guitar and start singing. It's Drew's 7th birthday party.
That's funny.
Okay. Is that it?
No. Ask E-Rock. What is the most dangerous thing you've ever done? It's trivia.
Dangerous thing I've ever done? Oh, when I was in college, I used to do things. My dad thought I was gonna get, abducted. I would like talk to people, and like one time I had a convertible, and so one time it was during Mardi Gras break. I guess the sorority house was closed, so I was staying at my parents, and like I came home with all these like beads, and my mom was like, "I thought you were just leaving such and such." I'm like, "No, but we were on the road, and these guys came to a car, and they got in, and then my dad was like, what?" And so I just had like a very like trusting sense to myself. So I guess dangerous in the sense of I was like very naive, and so then I would have like every abduction that took place, my dad would like send it to me out of the paper, like.
Trivia Carter asks Rock, what serial killer would you want to sit down with and have a conversation?
Oh, my none. However, my sister and her husband did basically nail Sean Vincent Gillis. Their missing dog led to the discovery of a body, which led to the discovery of him. So we have a very eerie experience with that. My sister does. So, but I don't want to talk to any of them because that would I can't.
Ask Rock, when was the last time you were drunk?
Oh, I don't even know.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know.
That might be the first time Columbus, Ohio has ever been the answer to that question. Gulf South.
Gulf South is only because that's where Dr. O is right now, and I'm having an aching, and I can't get to him because Drew cannot wear a mask, and you can't get on an airplane without a mask, so I can't take my son to see his world-renowned miracle-performing surgeon.
But Drew doesn't need surgery.
But he needs to be, I want Dr. O's eyes on him. If he was in Houston, we would have
You
seen
just
him at
want to
least
talk
10
to
more
Dr. O.
times. No, because we only talked for like 10 minutes. But if Dr. O would still be in Houston, we would have seen that man at least 10 more times since we've seen him. Yes, we go twice a year.
It ain't been 5 years.
Okay, 6 more times. So yes, that's why I want to go to Columbus, Ohio.
Dogs are not exotic. Let's try animals like lions, hippos, gorillas.
I thought he was talking about like birds. Like I thought exotic meant like tropical. No.
There can be.
What's an exotic little animal? Parakeet?
Yes.
I don't want a parakeet.
Okay. Ask E-Rock, what is the theme for Drew's party?
Lucky 7. Jackpot.
7 years old. Casino theme.
Scone. Already got some things in. Already ordered some things.
Lolita's gonna love that.
I told her already.
Ask E-Rock, what's one illegal...
why you say that? He's watching a birthday video.
Oh. Ask E-Rock, what's the one illegal thing you want to do that you will get away with? That's some trivia.
The one illegal thing.
And he also said, how rude, Lenny. This is my time.
The one illegal thing? I don't know. What's illegal? I mean, what is that? I mean, what do you mean? Like,
you want to steal something?
No.
You want to kill somebody?
No.
You want to rob somebody?
No.
You want to launder money?
Is there anything to do illegal that's not hurting people?
Well, that's kind of why they're illegal.
No. I don't want to do anything illegal.
What about stealing money?
No.
Okay. Matt Lusto asked E-Rock if she ever snuck into the Huey Long Fieldhouse.
No, but I did sneak into Tiger Stadium a couple times.
Oh, really?
It was on a date. And then the guy was busted a couple years later. I'm like, is he still taking girls there? Oh, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Where
All right, trivia, last one. Ask E-Rock,
okay.
who is the crazy one and the boring one between you and Matt?
Well, Matt's definitely the crazy one. I'm not boring. People like me.
A little boring.
I am not.
That's why I wish you were on camera.
Boring. I am so not boring.
You're a little boring. You want to go live in Columbus, Ohio.
But on a daily basis, I'm not boring. People love me.
That doesn't mean people don't love you.
You don't love boring. People don't love boring people.
I love my boring person.
I'm not boring.
I love my boring person.
I might not be wild.
Remember that show, Wild and Crazy Kids? Wild and Crazy? Wild and Crazy Kids. You remember that?
No, I don't.
Erica, I'm just teasing you, Erica. You'll be all hurt for the rest of the day.
Hurt.
I'm not boring. I'm not boring. Like the rest of
Do
the
I look hurt?
We're gonna finish the show. You're gonna go. I can't believe you said I'm boring.
No, I don't. Because you know what? I know if you said I was ugly, I'd be one thing. I know I'm not boring. So if I know I'm not something, then it doesn't bother me if you say I am. Like you say I'm unorganized. Okay, it doesn't bother me if I'm super organized. So like if I know I'm something, and you say I'm.
But do you get to be the determination about you?
Take a vote.
They don't know you.
Yeah, they do.
These people know you personally.
Cliff Nelson knew me last night. Cliff, do you think I'm boring?
I'm sure he said, I don't care what it is. I want a decoration for Drew's birthday.
Oh, you will get 2. Lenny will get 0. Lenny's
going to go to the party. All right, I think we're done. How long did we go on this episode? 1 hour and 1 minute?
Jeez.
No, it has to be. That's minutes. 101 minutes. So we're at 1 hour 40. We're at 1 hour 41 minutes. How about that? So, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're not done so yet, please hit the like.
It's
beautiful. It's 10:20. Oh my god. Okay. This is a long episode of Morning Scone.
Better get to grilling.
I know. Gotta grill today. All right. Like the page, share the post. Like the page, share the post. Like the page, share the post. As always, shout out to Brock. They're tagged in the Facebook post, and HUDCO as well. If you need a roof or roof inspection, people. You know how many people? Oh, I have a leak in my house. Right? Because I tell you all the time. Let us come do an inspection now. Don't call us whenever it's raining and everyone's got leaks in their house. I mean, do that, but do it now and don't have to worry about having leaks in your house.
If your house is X amount of years old, when should you get that done?
You